Morning, folks, or whatever it is, wherever you are, whenever you are where you are. It is 9:36 a.m. Friday, September 1st, 2017. I have a lot to tell you this morning, but it's incomplete. I've got two, again, it just seems to come in two devils, so we put them back to back. Part Lily just said that's how it needs to happen for you right now. Deal with the stress, and then I get worked on after that by the other side. We have everything working good. Get those off. First, I have a lot of friends out there I can't talk to anymore because of what's going on, what I'm going through, what I need to do before I leave, and it's crunch time. I want to thank you for giving me this space and trying to understand. Most of you do, but some of you still trying to understand why. I can't talk with all you and keep going like this. Y'all are fine. You're where you need to be and better. I just need to leave, and most of you know that. There are some things I need to do. 2 weeks from now, the most important one will be done. What I am inside, as you all know, is more than anxious to come out. Has been for a long time. What we're going to talk about tonight is some new ET stuff. Dan and I were on a ship. Actually walking around. I did that to myself. I don't mean I consciously did it to myself. When I am out of my body, just hit me with a jolt of energy. I don't believe in faking anything. Especially if you're trying to teach someone, help them understand something. And you teach by example, by showing, by being, by doing, by just existing and things being what they are. That's how people learn. That's how they also, as their heart develops, they know that what happened is real and not bullshit. Slow down, Jay. There goes the heart. Deanna and I were on a ship, and she remembered some of it as it was very comfortable when we were being worked on. They worked on me hard because, as they put it, the clock showed that I had to be here longer than my body was literally going to be. I had that heart attack. It wasn't a real bad one. It didn't give me a stroke, but it knocked me down. And then ever since then, even in two of my videos, I got hit hard enough to stop me, but not hard enough to drop me out of my chair. Each time, had I not been sitting down, I would have been sitting down on a chair or the floor. No big deal, but there's a couple things I still have to do. So they've been given some energy and desire from the other side to come help me. But I want to share this experience because these are people you're going to meet. You're going to see them. You're going to know about them. Some of you will actually meet them. A lot of my family members, this is stuff that's important for you. Some of you are real pissed at me. I get it. I understand and love you and get the fuck over it. I am. I'm here to do a job, and if your own selfishness gets in the way, then maybe you don't need to do as much as you think you do. There you go. There's Grandpa talking, huh? I'm for everyone and everything. I understand because I've been around longer than anyone else. The first was Lily and I. The very first. Anyway, had having thrown that little having thrown that little temper tantrum aside, it's just my particular family I expect a lot out of because of who they are. I demand next to nothing. Actually, I don't demand anything. I just tell them how I feel. When I said I demand next to nothing, I'm like, what the hell do I demand? Nothing. To leave me alone. Anyway, and Stephen Lewandowski, I got my laptop that I've been using, and I'll be shipping to you pretty soon. You called me too much, so I turned off your access. I got stuff I got to do. I can't be bombarded 20 times a week. Love you, but you know that. I'll take care of you when I go home, when I come back to myself. Anyway, I don't talk to these people, and those of you listening, almost all of you listening, are not, some of these separate little individuals, but that's the only ways means I have to communicate. Everything else has to be closed off. It's hard for me to do this, and I am sick, and I did destroy through me in this body, destroyed using my energy outside of my body and inside, coming out, joining with the rest of what I am outside. Literally killing the original first being, male and female. The other two large source beings, almost all the angels, Arae, when he was still around, took out a huge, it was over 1 trillion of, just over 1 trillion of those first angels getting ready to attack me, and this is a long time ago. I fight. I don't stop. I have a heart attack, what do? I go right back up. The next day I did 2 double DNA crank-ups, back to back. The day after I had a heart attack. You can't stop me. I mean, the body you can stop, yeah, but my fortitude, no. But anyway, other than that, yeah, I did that, and I did all that, and and more. But whatever. I'm not trying to talk about myself. I'm trying to tell you something. I took a lot of hits. Constantly. I got my ass whooped. The only problem is I won. The only problem for them. Not for you, and almost none of you even know what I'm talking about, and that's fine. You will when you get home. It doesn't matter. The reason why I'm saying this is it's for everyone, but especially people that are closer to me, to me. You know what happened to me and I've said it on video for people that have been following me for a long time, when I became very strong and very awake and aware, the original first beings, male and female, were talking to each other, and the female looked at the male and said, wow, look how strong he is. Look at his abilities. He's not supposed to be this strong, and especially not now. His ability to see, because they were talking to each other, saying, we're going to do this, well, no, we'll do this to him, we'll do that to him, and I was standing right there, his energy, they couldn't even see me. And then I interrupted at one point after the original female said something. I said, oh, really? You think that'll work? I don't know, maybe it will. Why don't you try it? And then, so when she said that to the original male said nothing. But the thoughts in his head, he said, I'll fix him tonight. And I knew that when I sleep, at that point I wasn't strong enough to keep him from hurting me. And I woke up the next morning. I've said this a few times on video, and I knew everything was okay. I kept getting told it's okay, but I was lost in my own house. I got out of my bedroom. I said, okay, that's a bathroom, whatever a bathroom is. And I looked in the mirror, and I said, I said, that's me. He literally transmutated part of my brain where I'd never be able to see the way I could then. Now, and I kept getting stronger and stronger. I just went around it. There's other ways to do it, but it takes away. It was on the left side of the brain. Okay, it takes away from my ability to explain, to do my job, to explain things better. But then it's just so strong, just kept getting stronger coming out. I went through it around it to see stuff and do stuff, which you all know I've been doing for a long time. However, excuse me, I am being set up to have a heart attack, aneurysm, everything shut down all at one time. My left kidney doesn't work worth a damn. My right one, I got hit so hard yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Pain, man, it's just nasty. Everything's being put together, so at the right time, bam, it just comes down. The same thing was happening to me in my last life when I was in the body of Gandhi. I was Gandhi, but whatever. I was in there with someone else, so it was sharing the body with someone else, and part of the earth, part of the planetary essence that originally came from Gaia. A little over about 11.25 million years ago, whatever, 11.18 million, whatever. And after those 2 hard fasts, I just shut my body organs. I started killing them. I was older. I was tired. I was beat up. I worked so hard, gave everything I had to free India. And then it was made to where the Muslim would come in and mess everything up. Now, I'm not beating up the Muslim people. All these religions are stupid. Okay, they're nonsense. People want to follow them. That's their right. That's fine. I'm not calling them stupid. They're just following a thought process. I'm saying the philosophy itself is stupid once you is unrealistic once you look at the reality of what is. When you can see what is for yourself, and that's what I'm all about, is you becoming yourself. Not what I want you to be. I want you to be you. Okay? So I want you to become what I want you to, what I want is for you to be you. It's a loop. Keeps going. I don't want anything for myself. I want you to be, of course, it makes my my job easier when you can see each other. You can see where you're going and you don't bump into walls. It's easier for me to take care of you that way, but you're missing out on the biggest thing in the world, the real you. It's not just sad, it's wrong. The hell do you think I'm here, man? Anyway, because of this thing going on with the aneurysm, I know I shouldn't be talking like that with you here. It's such a fight to wake everyone up and then keep dealing with the other side and everything else, doing it all through a physical brain, and now being set up to die is like the shape of my head. These are small changes, folks. You can see them if you take the time to scrutinize it, but why waste your time? I see them and feel them on my head, these different bumps. Part of my head went concave in like this, another part came out. It's changing so that it's literally taking part of my brain, turning it, it's me doing it inside, taking part of my brain, turning it into mush, and then other parts making it stronger so I can still keep functioning while they're setting up my brain for this aneurysm. Excuse me. We're about to get to the ET stuff, folks. Okay, this is important stuff for you to have. But I need to tell you this first. So because of what I've been through, what the original First Being Male did to me, because of what I'm going through right now, I cannot see everything that I want to tell you clearly. Okay, and hey, I'm not happy about that. Okay, it's like I want to apologize, but I can't. It's not my fault. It's nothing I did. My fight, my battles, I'm a success. Thank you. I don't need thanks. I'm just saying thank you very much. It's an expression we have here in the U.S. I've done my job for the most part. Now I need to finish and leave. But it's messed me up. It's another reason it's hard when I do these consults. What I am myself, I help myself get what I need to take care of you, but it's very hard for me to go seeing stuff. It's nothing for me to put out my energy. I'm being torn down because my job is serving you out of the body, not in the body anymore. But anyway, that being said, and I realized that took a long time, but there was something of a understanding offering there for those who care, and those who don't. It's cool. Just hang up the video, man. Turn it off. And I love you. Hope you have a kick-ass day. Anyway, I don't matter. It's all of you that matters so much. Everything has to change. Your freedom is here, but it has to be implemented. Anyway, so Deanna and I woke up, you know, with all the gland failure I have in my, something I didn't finish about Gandhi. Because of the 2 starvation diet things, I mean the starvation, whatever you call them, where you don't eat. Because of those two big ones I did, especially the last one, it went on so long that I was shutting down all my organs. And the original first being male and female said, shit, we didn't expect this. We didn't plan for this. And I was taking myself out to go home because I had stuff to do. You have no idea what I was aware of my last life as Gandhi. And so anyway, so this life, they gave me low blood sugar so I could never do that again. So the body has to keep eating. I feel get to a certain point and my body just starts going in on itself. Low blood sugar is not a lot of fun, and then usually goes right into diabetes, which my son out in California, he has bad diabetes and other health problems that were given to him. Anyway, the loving God, right? They're dead. Anyway, so, all right, that finishes what I wanted to say there. But you know, everything went to hell. And like I said, it was the head of the Anunnaki here on the planet in London. That's the old head of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki are no longer in control, but of this planet. But it was them that threw that huge funeral for me. It's like the mafia here in the U.S. the way it used to be. The biggest wreath at a person's funeral was the mafiosa that killed him. They rubbed him out. All right, back to what we're talking about. The CT thing. Folks are us. They were us. We've had lives in their bodies before, so it's just like there's a very strong family connection. We've been in those bodies before, having lives. Now, my health is bad. I got to be careful. I'm not fixed, but I've been helped immensely by the Archoebien. And this is what I want to explain. The Archoebien, they're not the oldest of races, but they've been around a long time. Compared to us, they're very old. And they're very loving people. They have the desire to help. They get their joy out of helping others. It's who they are. Some of them are not like that, but almost all of them are. That's who they are as a race. But they're not very strong in the means of self-defense. They have more of a desire through their bodies and their hearts to heal and help, just to take care of people. They'll go way out of the way just to pick someone up who fell down. No joke. I mean, these people are awesome. But they had a hard time, especially in the beginning, trying to protect themselves. And along comes another race. Deanna and I were trying to get it just a minute ago. A few minutes ago. I've been talking a while. Right before the video started. That has been working with them. Deanna came walking down the stairs, and she said, "Were you talking?" And I said, no. I said, these Archoebien, when they talk to us, they hit us hard, and they were talking to you and trying to wake you up. because she and I had to talk before I did this video, and we have to hurry. At 12 o'clock, from 12 to 2 something, whatever, I've got my 4 altogether, my double 2 back-to-back DNA ICUCs crank-ups. So we had to get up, and when they talk to you, they talk to you in a chair. They're thought of as slow, not like a sloth. Their intelligence level is so far beyond ours, okay? But with the older races, they're thought of as slower, but so beautiful and loving, and they're growing, becoming stronger. Now, because they couldn't protect themselves, there was another race that was a little slower than them, but very strong and very caring. Fracking cool people. But because their job was to protect, they were going a little overboard. And not trying to be mean, just, you know, they became a little bit too dominant. There became problems between the races. They're still together today. And that's when an alliance came in, and the Drakh were behind it, and the Drakh said, it's time for us to come in and assert our influence. Archoebien, you need protection. We will protect you. As all these people here now, you were relying on this one race to protect you. Now you have a family of planets, and these other folks can't get the name. Neither can Deanna yet, and there's a new race too. But anyway, we're going to talk about 3 different races, and these other folks, they said you need the help to maintain your health. We're going to supply you that. Now we're not telling you you have to separate. But we are telling you that neither of you can force the other to stay with you. So you both have your freedom to do whatever you want, but don't try to hold on to the others anymore. It was causing problems. They were having problems. That's the only reason these folks in the Alliance went in to do this. Because the majority of the Archoebien and these other people still live together very happily, but the stress that they were having between themselves, like a forced need for each other, that's been released. Folks, I'm telling you, things changing everywhere. Okay, the whole thing I had to tell you about my not being able to see like I used to. I know. As part of my energy hit the, I got the overhead light on. It's easier to mess with. It hurts me that I lost that. I still see fine. Everyone that knows me knows I see better than anything else, but I can't see the detail that I used to. I have to use other parts of my abilities. Everyone has abilities. Remember that. I'm no better than nothing else. Just really strong, protective. Just a Mack truck, that's all. One that'll never run you over. Unless you're hurting something else. Then you're tire food. And tire tread food. Anyway, so Deanna came that, so that's a wonderful situation that's been taken care of by wonderful people who, this alliance, that they've already extended themselves around us, and we're soon gonna wake up to this and blend with them. We are already part of the alliance. It's just not a statement that's been made, and there's no one from the earth that's gone to them. So, yeah, I could tell you more, but that's not going to happen. I've told you all for a long time. I've been doing stuff, more stuff than you think, with our friends in space. It's because they know what I am, who I am. We talk all the time. There was an issue a little while ago in space, and I was told ahead of time. Deanna brought it up, and we'd talk about it back and forth, about people coming. Some people were having some issues with they wanted something for themselves that they really needed, but they were being told no, you couldn't because you don't have the right to. But yet they really needed it, and the Drak were involved because it was a serious issue. So this individual, the Drak, came to me and was telling me that, you know, it's time for me to get involved. But I couldn't do it as a physical person. And when I fell asleep, I took care of it, and then it was done. Folks, I'm beat up. Physical body, I'm beat to hell. But anyway, it did, and I forgot. I forgot all about it until Deanna brought up the next morning, and I had to go look at it again. Sometimes I'll be talking with someone, Jay, you know, something had happened, and you know, all of a sudden, boom, you were there. That was you, wasn't it? And I have to stop and look. I don't know. Sometimes I know beforehand, but this body's dying. Big time. I've talked about it for a long time. People say, bullshit, whatever, love you. You're wrong. It doesn't matter, except it matters I get out of here. Probably this video sounds like I'm talking about me. No, I am talking about some stuff in my life. I'm trying to apologize for not having done more. I have demands of myself, folks, not of the people, except for do not attack and hurt others. Anyway, look, let's get back to the ET stuff. Stuff makes me feel miserable. So let's talk about these cool people I promised we were going to talk about a year ago before I started this video. So I don't have the name. I'm sorry, I don't have it. I asked Deanna for help, and you know, she just woke up. When the Archoebien work on you, they knock you out. Why? They want to make sure you never feel anything. Deanna is so super strong. She was allowed to be attacked and abused when she was younger. Okay, and because she had a big role to play, and she has. She's still in it. And there's a lot more coming. Probably 8 years from now, she'll be off planet on a Drak ship flying around everywhere. Anyway, she came downstairs, and you know, like I said, she said, "You talked to me, no," and I explained what happened, why, and who was what, and I asked her without giving her any information. And that's how we need to do that with each other, so that as we tell them something and lead them somewhere, they come up with something that we didn't put on them, and when they tell us something, then we can relate to the fact that yes, I was saying that too, and then we feed each other back and forth. Not a thought process. But we feed each other the understanding that, yes, we both saw something. And when you see something a little different than someone else, no one's wrong. No one's wrong. Look a little deeper and see why you see it like that. Because every individual brain has certain images locked in. Okay? It's like a database. It's not so much a memory of a big event, but it is a memory of a certain kind of image and stuff, and that's what we have to use to understand what we see as energy. Energy you can't see with the physical eyes. We need something physical to relate the experience to our conscious minds, okay, and then communicate with each other. Even telepathy has a small amount of that. The rest is all just it's a large amount of that, but I'm talking about that finite imagery. Telepathy is so much more than that, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, and it's a natural thing, you know. So, anyway, so then she thought it was the Archoebien. You know, when yesterday she could hardly walk for like 2 days, because when they came and they, you know, picked her up again. Came and got her. Oh, we're abused. No, they came get her, pick her up. It's like, you know, go in your friend's house, pick them up to go out, have a drink, or you know, whatever. What are you going to do? Go to a library? Go to a concert? Anyway, so they put, you know, stuff into her to help her out, and they go in the heel, and it hurts. And Deanna has, this certain issue with some part of hospitals and stuff, because when she was taken as a young girl, this is something that was done to her. And it was to frack her up as bad as possible. It was by your loving God and the devil all in one, called the original first being, male and female. The only hell was the thought process they gave you. The devil and your God, same thing, same person. How about that? Anyway, I got issues with them, even though they're dead. Some of my best work, my very best work. No, some of my best work. Anyway, so what happened with me and Deanna downstairs? She looked, she looked at me and she said, there was someone hanging over me that was saying like, and it was. She said it was male. It was. I said yeah, and so I looked at it, saw who it was right away. Who it was is these people that work with this other race that works with the Archoebien. They're so close together, and almost all of them still stay together. It's just that the tension's relieved, and they have help from all over physical help from everyone all over the place. They're part of family now. And we are, but we're not aware of it, and we're not attached to them, but they've already attached to us to take care of us, okay? You couldn't ask for more. Well, you could ask for more, some people do, but that's usually from the fact that they've had so little, or they've been twisted to think a certain way, and anyway, that's enough of that. So as soon as she said that, she said it was kind of scary, and it was holding me down, and she said, but I was getting ready to say something, and then she goes, but it was comfortable and it wasn't aggressive. I said, yeah. I said, these are the people that work with Archoebien, that, the other race. They're bigger, they're stronger. They get up to 12 foot tall. Okay, 7, 8, 10 foot, that's a pretty good thing. The average, probably 8 foot. Archoebien, probably 3.5 to 5.5 foot or something. They average about 4 foot. Really cool people, all of them. So Deanna said, no, she was trying to see, remember this, when they hit you with these drugs, the energy frequencies they hit you with, it's like a drug, and they do have other medicines that they use that are like a drugs. That's what they put into Deanna, and it helps her for stuff that she's going through. So anyway, when they do that, it knocks you out, man. 3 something this morning, I was up, had to go to the bathroom, and then went back down to sleep, and I got knocked out. It was just about 4:20, 4:18. That's when they came and got me, and pulled me up and her up almost at the same time. Like I said, they already knew physically that I wasn't going to make it as long as I needed to, which isn't long anyway. And when I woke up, I felt better. When your heart goes like mine has, you feel it. It's a constant thing. You have that first heart attack, you don't just get healthier, okay? That heart's been working all your life. You're used to it, you can feel it, you understand it. But they did make it, they took some of the, whatever they did to me helped heal it enough to keep going, which I appreciate. I get a little overexcited, my heart starts kicking up again, and then I feel, a little bit of pain, a little tenseness in there, sharp pain, and then it starts going away as soon as I calm down. But anyway, they got me to help me. When I woke, as I was waking up, I was trying to talk with them, but they knocked me out. So, it takes so many drugs to knock me out. I had surgery and I had my right knee replaced. It was surgery. They knocked me out. I woke right up in the middle of it. Sat right up on a gurney, and they had literally cut out my kneecap. My kneecap was cut out. I didn't have a kneecap, kneecap. I didn't have a knee, a joint on my right leg, not the kneecap, not the whatever patella. The whole knee was cut out. They were giving me my artificial knee on my right leg, and that freaked them out. So they put me under. He goes, put him under. It was so funny. Anyway, so they hit me hard, and it just kind of knocked me out. Wham. So when I woke up this morning, late, 7-something, I was trying to get it together when I went to talk to them. When the Archoebien talk, to us, it's like they are flying around in starships, and we're barely better than throwing rock. Okay, that's how far advanced they are over us. They're called one of the slower races. They're not like some of the other older races that evolved to such a point physically where they are like living computers. Okay. Now I want to say right now, the human race has its own special qualities. Since the very beginning of our race on this planet, we have been manipulated by other races. Our DNA consumes information and everything else at a rate that's pretty much unheard of. There's 4 of the races that are equal to or pass us in their DNA's ability to take off like a racehorse, like a rocket in its development. And there's no telling what will happen as our DNA develops more. I'll just say this right now, there's a surprise coming for the Earth and human race. It was a surprise for us, but I mean for everyone else, how they look at the Earth and human race and our DNA, they're going to be surprised when something happens. But we're family anyway, because we exist. We have rights, and that's what the Alliance understands. Again, original first being male and female, as soon as they were destroyed, and they're angels, and the other ones, the other 2 big source, family folk, couples, as soon as they were taken out, that opened up all kinds of new possibilities for everyone everywhere. All throughout creation. The other side here, the importance of it is you, all of you. Back again. Excuse me. So anyway, when I talked to him, I can't remember everything he said. It was just a burst of thought process, and then I heard it, and then I said, "Why did you take me first and work on me more?" Because I saw that right away, and basically what they said that they were trying to say the clock ran out. The clock was broken. Was the thought process, meaning that the clock wasn't working, meaning that the events that needed to happen weren't going to be able to happen with my current condition. So I said, okay, and that's why they paid more attention to me than Deanna, because I asked them about that. My concern is not about myself. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so Deanna, there's something else. When they talk from a chair and they go wham to hit the information, and it comes out like that. When he hit me from the chair, and they're right here. I don't mean over and above my house. I mean not far away at all. When he hit me in my head, there was like gold lightning that was reversed coming in to a point. And I got the message. That was my own energy where it comes in. I was doing from outside my body. I was doing something else so I could see it, hear it, whatever. And then, but it was a direct boom when it came in, and easy to understand that it needed to be like that because I was still like sedated from the frequencies that they used to put you under. Deanna was knocked out. So anyway, so Deanna and I were downstairs, and Deanna said something was holding me. It's not mean or nothing, but it's holding me. I went to move, I couldn't, and it goes, like that. And then at the very end, it went, like that. It was one of the folks that are with it, it was a race that have been working with the Archoebien so long. Strong, it was male energy, it was strong, but it was that's how it talks. It was trying to say like easy, calm. They can't talk English, but it can make a E sound for easy. And then it's like when people say, that feels good. Then it went from E to ah. It's the neatest thing in the world. And Dan was like, okay, that makes me feel better. She said I could, just because I've been held down so much, it made me jump into like a defensive mode. But yet I knew it was okay, but and I had no control over it, so I didn't like it. And I said, no, I understand. So anyway, we actually walked around on the ship. We were both still in a daze from what they gave us. They were keeping us in a certain state to where it'd be really hard to remember. Their ships, though, they're soft. Everything about them is smooth. Inside, outside, smooth. Where we are being worked on is a huge chamber that's not tall. It's not super tall at all. It was shaped like this. Like a oval with a flat bottom, the walking floor, but 14 foot maybe max height. And good thing, there was one guy in there. Well, I'll get there in a minute. But at one point we were walking through the ship, seeing stuff, feeling, and you can feel through the walls. I remember doing that, using heart energy. To actually, when you go to the walls, something about your heart energy, it works with it. You can actually feel through the walls. It was interesting. You can see through the walls. But the strongest thing is feeling. And both the Archoebien and these other folks that work with them, I'll get their name eventually, just not now. And the other ET I almost did mention, I will in a second. They're very strong hearts. They're both cool races. That's why they've been together so long. But anyway, and they helped me, and I appreciate the hell out of them. They all know they're welcome. I told them all that personally. I went to them. Some people say, wow, these people talk about ETs, especially J. Essex, they're so full of shit. They make this stuff up. Millions of people just in our current day life for over 100 years have talked about this stuff. You go back farther in history, you can see paintings made of it. Leonardo da Vinci painted Starship in a picture, religious picture, painting. Now is the second focal point of my own energy. I have two other focal points coming off of me. They can have lives too. It's weird. It's as if there wasn't enough for me to do through this being a pitiful what's left of a brain. Anyway, so we got it's funny. Part of me just wants so bad for you to understand what you mean to me. I'm hurrying. So, crow out there with the energy of raven behind it. Yeah, again, hurry. I'm like, whatever. Okay, anyway, and I do have to hurry. I gotta hurry to load this up. Anyway, someone else wants to talk to me again. Archoebien, that's cool. Anyway, all right, where was I? So anyway, we got to, we can't hardly remember diddly about that. I'm starting to see basic smooth stuff. The ship itself is just so smooth. There's not hardly a sharp edge on the whole thing. And believe it or not, that's like heart energy. It's like that. But anyway, That's a basic theme in their lives, both of these folks. Now, there's, I said, a third other person. Yeah, I don't like ETs. A third different race. Excuse me. Lint in my nose. There's these folks. They're male. They're real tall, slender. They look like they look somewhat Serpoian, but the heads are different when they go up, and they come out like this, and then go down. But they're still thick on the side, so it's like this, and then it goes in a little bit like this. They like to wear different colored, but lighter, softer, kind of dullish, but different color. It's like robes, but it's made out of real thin fabric. Real thin fabric. You can't see through it, but it's real thin. You think of someone wearing a robe or a cloak, you think of the thick material. No, this is super thin, and you don't see through it. And they were the ones that own these ships. It's a medical ship. They're the ones that own the ship, but everything in it, the way it's set up, this is for the Archoebien race. And these other folk too. I can't get the name. They're awesome. This other race, they're very strong boned. Their bodies are different. They're basically humanoid, but they're different. Very strong. You could hit them with a battering ram and they'd fall over and they'd look at you like, "What? You okay?" These people are so neat with you. Meet them. Everyone's been, all your lives you've been geared up to fear them. Oh, that's so stupid. It was done on purpose. Anyway, so this other gentleman, it's just one of these beings on there. Deanna was talking about him. He's real tall. I said, yeah, they're about 12 foot. He barely fits in that chamber. The ship was not, this other race, he's in charge of what's going on over here. He's thought of as like the owner of the ship, the one who's the boss in charge. They think of him as the owner. It's the ship was built for the Archoebien and this other race. So I guess they're the real owners, but the Archoebien themselves, I was trying to see how this guy fits in, and I was literally getting that through the Archoebien. My energy's all over the place. I'm not in the body anymore. I mean, I am, but I'm not much me, so this is weird for me too. Beautiful breeze outside right now. Beautiful fall day. It's going to start raining? Hope not. That's just the leaves. House is surrounded by beautiful trees and everything. Everything is so important. Anyway, so I don't have a name for these other tall groups. These other tall beings. I'll get them for you later. They're a very old race. They're an ancient race. Been around a long time. That's wild. My heart, I can feel the energy. Something personal between me and the elemental dragons, and I got to break away from that. I'm proud of the fact that I have emotions and compassion, but I don't like to show it. It's a personal thing. Anyway, especially the thoughts between them and me right now. Back to coffee. Come on, heart attack. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later when it comes up. I gotta go. I'm getting hit hard now. I gotta talk with some of these folk. Deanna, all these other folk, family folk down here, and a lot of folk we're all family. But I'm talking about some of the source individuals that are here to actually crank you up. There's a lot of other folk that are here to work with our friends and family members from other planets, and they're running around in their houses now. This is not a separate, well, I don't know how to say this. It's raining now. This is a situation over here at the house that I'm going to use to introduce our friends. Whether it happens before I die or it doesn't matter. It's going to happen here in the house where you can see what they really look like. And that's because they're offering for us to see it. Something else I want to say before hanging up, so to speak. I said, like, there's an energy beam or something they can be in, and they can be in and out of phase. They have their own equipment that they wear on them. When they beam in, that's how they beam in. Okay? It's interdimensional, but they have their own devices they wear on them, so they don't need to be underneath the beam. When I was looking at that, I said something's not right about that, but I couldn't see it at the moment I let it go. Excuse me. And then that, it's myself inside. I can't talk to it. It's part of me. And I see it happening through it. Y'all are going to have such a good time with this. Everyone's excited about it. Well, you should be. But you need to understand there's absolutely nothing to fear. The ones that cause a lot of problems here with Enoch. Oh, something else about the Archoebien before I leave. A lot of us who on this planet being botanists, you'll graft living plants together to create something new and stuff like that. What the U.S. government has been calling the EB or Eben, the Archoebians, the treaty we had with them. They really appreciate life. When one of their people stayed here with us, and 12 of us went to their planet, they were given freedom, allowed to move around. They were almost barely restricted at all. They were flown to all the different portions of the planet. They were treated like guests while we were trying to learn about them, and they were trying to learn about us. What did we do to the one we had here that stayed here? Beat the crap out of them, tore them apart until the scientists killed them. And our governments, the military, they had the balls to think of themselves as advanced. Watch out for the humans. Don't trust them because you can't. True statement. The humans have to learn. Also, we'll be fine now. There's nothing around you to make you do the wrong thing. So those that do the wrong thing will be taken out. Those that don't will be. And when I say wrong thing, I don't mean make a mistake. I mean those who are so abusive and want to be like that and don't mind being like that, they're going to be leaving. Animal abusers, first ones to go. It's started to happen, but not like it's gonna. It's going to be a rain, like what you're hearing right now, cleansing. Things can only grow. Positive things can almost only grow in a positive environment. They grow best always in a positive environment. If something's negative, it's holding everything back, and we've been held back since the beginning of having lives. So that shit's over. So anyway, the Archoebians, called EBs even, to them, life is so precious. They understand it. They'll take DNA from some other dead bodies, grow a body, a new body, create something new, and see how it goes. That's one reason why they're great healers. Now, also, as a matter of fact, it's even in one of the books that you have about Serpo, a book about Serpo. One of them's a comic book, and there's another one that's a book, whatever. Stephen Lewandowski talks with them all the time. As soon as I get out of here, I'm going to calm him down and get him ready to come out in public, and then he will. He's the strongest telepath on the planet. Well, he will. Well, he will be real soon. Anyway, that's something he's going to help you with. He's been talking to him forever, and he does all day long. Anyway, because they do that, to them, they're helping life. They don't understand, that they're doing anything wrong. But even in these books, it even states how something came and attacked them. It attacked the lab. Well, you know what? That's true. It happened. A group of ships, starships from another planet, another race, came in, attacked the lab where they were doing this, creating these things, without their permission, because the bodies came from their race. I find a problem with that. That's wrong. And things have since changed. But boom, came in, attacked the lab, and left. They didn't come to hurt the people. They came to take out the lab. Because they were taking members of their own race and turning them into something else. But they weren't doing it to live people. They were just taking, tissue, DNA. So they understand a lot about it, okay? Now that's loving people that were literally controlled by the other side to do what they did. Again, it causes strife. All this, folks, now the other ones are gone, guess what happens? It's over. Freedom. I'm trying to put all the dominoes in a row. Not so you can knock them over, so you can see how they flow together. That's what is, and you'll understand that when you see it for yourself. And to me, that's all that matters. And for you, that should be something that matters to you a lot. Because it's all about you becoming yourself. I think sometimes it's hard for people, some people, to understand me. Try not to think of me as a physical body, because I'm really not. Try to think of what I tell you as an offered thought process for you to look at and make your own opinion about. I have no self. I get yelled at. Deanna gives me a hard time sometimes for not doing something for myself, and the fact that the other side doesn't really allow me to do too much because of what I go through, what she goes through with me, trying to deal with them. And it's not just me and her. They don't understand. How can you be mad at someone trying to help you when they don't understand? You get mad when they won't stop helping you the wrong way, but so you just deal with it and keep going. Anyway, that's enough. Folks, love you. Have a good one. I'll be back with more information on these folks, who they are, and the names, but I can't do it without Deanna's help. I can't go there anymore. I've talked about leaving for a long time. I'm just about there. When it happens, boom. Done deal, good. But in the meantime, we need to understand that these people are very awesome, loving people that at their own expense have come, from really far away at their own expense just to help us. Now, how are you going to say something negative about them that'll only show you what's negative about yourself? And if you have heart energy, that opens up new doors to help improve yourself. And it all comes from understanding. So I think maybe the best thing I have to offer, from my talking anyway, is an understanding of who you are, where you came from, what's real out there, and how it all fits together. And hopefully the understanding of knowing why I'm here. And it's for all of you, it ain't for me. So, folks, I love you, man. Take care and have a good one.